Jeff, this is going to be a great conversation. I'm really excited. Obviously, I get excited anytime we can get together. Unlike our taco show, we're going to have a little bit more substance, maybe a little bit more filling in the taco. Did I go too far with the
It's
taco
gonna be
reference?
A meatier taco.
A meatier,
yeah,
beefier
a lot of meat
taco.
here.
Lot of meat on the bone. This is a great discussion, and I'm so lucky to have two industry titans joining us. Truly, it's an honor. Jeff and I tend to, we like to be our silly selves, and we talk about a lot of things. Apparel often comes up. I'm a headwear guy, as you can see, but I've grown up in the apparel decoration. That's really my background, although it blends into print and promo, all things branded merch. But it was just a few days ago when I was 16 and I printed my first T-shirt. And somehow fast forward to
Right.
today, it's like, how did we get here? So anyway, Jeff, how are you this morning? You well?
I'm great. I'm excited about our international flavor of what's gonna happen. Oh boy,
That
we
was
got to
well
keep coming back
played.
to that theme.
Well
So
played.
really,
Some secret toppings on sauce. Here we go. Here we go. Well, let's turn it
so
over to you, Jeff, if you've got anything to say, and then I'll let you turn it over to Rod.
well, I'm going to jump right into introducing Rod, who will introduce our guests. So we do have an international flavor to the show. We've got our guest Bjorn from you're in Switzerland, yes, Bjorn?
I am currently in Sweden, but I live in Switzerland.
Oh, okay, right. You're in Sweden. Okay, so let me hand this over to Rod Brown. Many know Rod from his long-time involvement, service to the industry, part of a great company Made to Order. And Rod is like this retired guy who's the busiest retired guy like I know. It's like, hey, I'm traveling here, I'm traveling there. And the reason why is he's become a global brand ambassador and passionate about certain causes that really do matter to all of us. And so I'm not going to go any further. I'll let Rod jump in here and introduce his guest here. And we're just excited to be able to share this kind of information with our audience. There's a lot of talk about sustainability, and when we have really titans, Rod being a champion for the cause, and then Bjorn, you're going to learn about bluesign, what's happening in Europe, who we know that Europe is years ahead of the US in sustainability standards. And so to bring this type of content to our Branded Merch Network audience is exciting. Rod, take it away.
Yeah. Hey, Rod, how does this retirement work? I'm not.
Yeah, I know. My wife sometimes wonders, right? Like, didn't you sold the company 3 years ago and retired, right? And now I've just morphed into sort of a new role. But I do love traveling the world, 5 times in Africa, a dozen trips in Asia, 30, 40 times in Europe. I ride motorcycles all over the world, but I see a tremendous amount of just pollution and waste and degradation of Earth's resources. I'm an avid hunter and fisherman. And through a network in Europe of, many years ago in a PSI and working with my friends overseas, I've now become what I call this brand ambassador for international people interested in learning and penetrating the North American or the US promotional products business. I've known Bjorn on and off, long distance for many, many years now. And he is part of GXN, an international conference group that we're putting together. He made a presentation last year to the GXN group with bluesign, and my jaw dropped. I just was just so blown away. And what a phenomenal effort that they're making in terms of reducing waste. Bjorn will talk a lot more about it, but I call Bjorn the silver fox from Switzerland. He's just a charming, wonderful guy. Every chance I get to have a dinner with him overseas, I'm going to do so. And I'm just fired up to be an ambassador, trying to bring them to PPAI, to Impressions Expo. And so with that, Bjorn, I'm going to say, take it away and tell us what you do and why we should pay attention, and how forward-thinking people in the promotional product business can embrace bluesign and have it be profitable for them in the long run.
Firstly, thank you for having me. Awesome show, guys. And thank you to the three of you. And Rod, I'm very fortunate, honored to work with you. You are not only a brand ambassador, you are a walking library, actually. you asked you something and you have the answer there, and you have the network, and vast network, mamma mia. So thank you very much for that. bluesign is a service provider to the textile industry. What we do basically is to eliminate harmful chemicals in the manufacturing process. This is our main goal. And with our partners, we go through the process from the outset to the final product. We take away all the things that is harmful for nature and for man, and we verify that. So the customer, the partners we have, we rather call them partners because it's a partnership. They can go out to the market and show them who they are and what they do with the transparency. That's basically what we do.
And how do you do that? Tell us a little bit more about the process.
We make an assessment. We are one of the few who do on-site inspections in factories. We have a brand, let's say, and the brand gives us a lot of information about their supply chain, where they buy the product, the assembling parts, and how they put the products together. And it's quite a large industry, you know, in the promotional apparel industry. I mean, textile or promotional product industry, promotional apparel is 45-50% of the global business. So it's a huge animal. It's a huge part of the industry, an important part of the industry. And so what we do is that from the outset with the assembling parts, we do what we call the input stream management. So all the assembling parts of a product, zippers, buttons, fabrics, whatever, we verify them before they go into the machine. Before you press the button, we have identified the dye stuff, the dyeing components, etc. The water, emission, energy, all these steps in the manufacturing process. So out comes a clean product that people can be proud of, that has not harmed any water or nature or any people, and we are very, very proud of that. We have a fantastic system and fantastic people. We are a community of collaborators, and we are very proud, and we are also very passionate of what we do. So yeah, that's how we do it.
Yeah, one of the things that you know, Jeff and Jay and the audience, that I always talk about is that I'm very mercenary, as well as I'm really concerned about the environment, right? And again, traveling the world, I see that degradation, particularly in Africa. It's unbelievable. And so when I saw bluesign's presentation and I saw what they're trying to achieve, that is essentially, we want consumers around the world eventually to look for a bluesign hag tag on every garment that they buy, to know that it's bluesign certified, that this is not being harmful to the environment. It's clean production, cradle to grave. And I think if we can get out in front of this, and that this consumer wave is coming, we leaders will actually be able to monetize this. If you're one of the first movers and you're embracing this, and right now Björn's working with brands like Patagonia and Marmot, right? These are fantastic brands that have embraced bluesign. And now we're trying to bring that into the promotional products business. So, you know, when I say I'm mercenary, is that not only do I want to help the planet, but I want to make money at the same time. So if I'm a first mover on this and I'm embracing this, then I may be able to get an edge on my competition and be able to sell this where they're buying it because they know I'm a bluesign partner, and the products that they're buying are not going to be degrading the earth. And as this consumer wave of sustainability continues to build in the younger generations, they're going to be the leaders here. There was recently a tender for the city of Oslo, Björn, remember that one?
Yes.
And there was 4 or 5 or 6 bidders for, and they buy a tremendous amount of firefighting gear, emergency gear.
Correct.
And the lowest bidder did not win the tender. The bluesign partner won the tender because the city of Oslo wanted to make sure it was a bluesign validated product. So that's why I say I'm mercenary as well. I don't want to lose sight that I think you can make money by embracing these new technologies.
We have to understand that this industry has never been regulated, and we are the largest water polluter in the world. The textile industry is the largest water polluter in the world, and we also have a lot of polyester in the industry.
Yep.
And polyester, as you know, migrates microplastics. So actually, you and me, we have a credit card of plastics in our blood today.
Yeah.
The amount of a credit card we have inside our blood because of the microplastic. It's everywhere. In every water, there is a microplastic. So the environmental impact is enormous for this industry. We have to do something about it. And we have the tools to make it happen. And some of these companies we work with, you mentioned some of them. Now, I know the promotional product industry very well. They are very clever. They are very creative, always been very innovative, forward thinking. We have to find ways to make money and so on. So here we are. We have a chance to collaborate. We have a chance to clean up the planet in our field, and we can go out to the market, and we can get sympathy for what we do in the marketplace. The end customers, the big corporations that buys, or medium size, or gas stations, whatever, who buys products with decorations and so forth, they could be proud of us. We could be in the forefront. And not the late adapter later when the regulators say, oh, this you have to do. We can actually do it already.
You touch on an important point about regulators. Recently, there are some laws pending in, or actually passed in the United States, where publicly traded companies have got to be able to monitor their supply chain and share their entire supply chain information with their clients. And so we can see that regulators are coming. We want to be out in front of that and be there before the government mandates this, right? We think we can do it now. And I go back to being mercenary just for a second. SGS is a $7 billion worldwide testing company. They do most of the product testing in the world. I think they're the product testing leader. SGS recently bought bluesign, right? Because they see that what bluesign's doing is incredibly important and very innovative. And SGS has been testing products around the world. Now they're saying, look, we want bluesign to be part of our $7 billion system. That makes me really want to pay attention even more to bluesign.
Yes, we have the resources. With SGS, we are an authority. We have expertise. We have, of course, SGS investing in us heavily. And we see that because the industry is so big, textile is so big. We talk about all the clothing, $1.3 trillion per year, 150 billion ready-made products every year for a population of 7.7 billion people. It's a huge, one of the largest industries in the world, and it concerns everybody, even if you wear shorts, Rod. I am more heavy today with down jackets and so on.
Bjorn's dealing with a little bit different weather than you are, Rod.
Yeah, well,
exactly.
Jay's in Scottsdale. I don't even know how hot it's going to be in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
And Bjorn's below zero in Sweden, man. So
yeah, exactly.
Quite a change.
So we have to protect ourselves, and we have workwear, we have protection clothes, we are dressing up hospitals, we are laboratories, we have, and textile is not only about the clothing, it's also car seats, it's umbrellas, parachutes, lanyards, whatever. This is textile.
Blankets and towels and sheets. And
exactly. But we are very proud of our setup, and we are very passionate about what we do. And SGS is an amazing company. We are in total, I think, 98,000 people employed that is doing this every day. We have 2,650 laboratories in the world. So we can scan any factory anywhere, and we can tell you what they do, good or bad.
Wow. I have a question. I don't know.
I don't want to run out of time.
No, Rod, I just had a question about this. I'm obviously this is a part of probably a better, deeper conversation at another time, but it sounds like if I were to partner with bluesign, I would then have access maybe to the previous knowledge base, almost like a library, almost like They know what all the chemicals are that are certified. They know what all the coatings are that are good and bad. They figured out the dyes and the fasteners and the water consumption. So it sounds like if I were
Yep.
just starting here in North America and I were one of the top 20 promotional product branded merch companies, I would be able to leverage that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we have
I think,
24 years of
yeah.
data.
Yeah.
So that's absolutely correct.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And I think when I talk leverage, because again, I spent 45 years of my life selling promotional products, sold hundreds of millions of dollars worth of promotional products. Like if I didn't sell, I didn't eat. So I have this very mercenary thing that I think, okay, if I can get an edge, right, then I'm going to try and leverage that, right? Use the word leverage. My thing is that if I, can leverage technology, if I can leverage innovation, if I can leverage creativity, if I can leverage sustainability, maybe I create a little bit of differentiation between me and the other competitors out there. So
Yeah, I
I'm
love
trying to
that.
look for any innovation that I can leverage into my client and say, I'm different, I'm better. Here's why. And it's
Yes.
not just price.
And it seems like, Rod, especially if the consumer is also driving this from the bottom up, meaning
Correct.
they're looking for a blue sign tag. They're looking for that
Correct.
certification or validation that their
Yeah.
choices are made.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look closely, you start going into top end, like particularly outdoor stores, Patagonia, Mammoth, things like that, you'll start seeing blue sign hang tags on the apparel. Right? It gives you a feeling, okay, this is the right stuff. This is good stuff. I think that will build over time, that awareness. They're going to demand that it has that certification.
Yeah. Well, maybe Bjorn could speak to, we have this little, they're a very consolidated, very simplified part of your systematic approach, Bjorn. But is there anything here that makes sense that you'd like to share with our audience that can help further educate us?
Well, of course, there is a lot I can tell a lot about this, but to reduce the impact is the main topic here, the aim, and eliminate harmful chemicals, but also energy, water. You can save a lot of money here too. I mean, money in commercial sense that. If a company joining as a Blue Sign system partner, we help them actually to reduce the impact and the water, the polluting, the energy, air emission, etc. And that has a price. You can actually say we save a lot of money as well in the supply chain. And coming back a little bit to the regulators, this is there is a very important, because the regulators, they are determined to stop greenwashing. Here in this chain that you showed on the slide, here you have a lot of greenwashing. People claim, and there is a lot of vague claims, what they do and so forth.
Right.
What we basically do is to give trust, verified trust, as an independent third party. And this counts. I don't want to oversell this, but it's what we do. So
Bjorn, you
yeah.
can't oversell this. You're the silver fox from Switzerland. There's no overselling it, my friend.
No, we are doing very well, and Rod is it's exactly we when we see the reality in Africa or we see the water in India, the pollution and in China or whatever, we have to do something about it. And this is a 27 billion business in the United States.
Bjorn, the slide that's up right now where you see the
Yeah.
sustainability index, could you just kind of briefly tell us what that sustainability index is?
Yeah, so what we do after we have started a collaboration with the company is that we're measuring who they are, what they do in their factories. So after 1 year, we have all the data and also in comparison data of who they are on the scale 1 to 10. Maybe there are 7. We can do it on the company level. We can do it on the product level, and they can even go out in the market and say that the index of this, our index of this is 7.9, for instance. And so it's a clean product, it's clean production, it's a clean brand. So this is what we mean with this. And we also now is working what we call with the digital product passport. That is an initiative in the European Union. And this will go worldwide sooner, which means that you can scan a product with a QR code and the product can actually talk to you, tell where it's made, by whom, what is made of, how it's made, etc., how it's transported, whatever, and how you also in the end of life can maybe give it back to Patagonia. Go to Patagonia and give it back. They would take care of it, and so forth. And you can buy a new product, or you can even repair a product, and so forth.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of macro things in this that can be taken into the context of what we do.
Well, guys, I really appreciate the time here today. And I want to just say that Björn and I, and a contingency of some of the bluesign people, will be walking the show at PPAI at Expo. We're also going to be attending Impressions Expo in Long Beach to try and sort of evangelize, if you would, what we believe is a process for delivering a better product, better world. And for those leaders that want to embrace it, we think it'll be a great long-term value investment for them too. So appreciate your time. And
oh my
before
gosh,
we
are you
leave,
kidding?
I have a really important question, and that is, Jeff and Jay, one day you got to send me, what is your absolute favorite taco stand, sort of taco truck? Anywhere. I got to go there.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, I'll do one better. Let's commit here and now to figuring out either in Las Vegas or in Long Beach, because I will be in both places, that we connect there and we will find that taco truck. I have one in mind in Long Beach specifically. In fact, in my mind, I can see the corner right now where that taco truck is going to be waiting for us. But nevertheless, gentlemen, I just want to say thank you. This has been, for me, a very interesting conversation, learning more about reducing, the impact of what we do on our people, the people that we employ, and of course on the planet. So Jeff, I got to tip my cap to you, literally and figuratively, because you were kind of, you were pushing me a little bit to be a little more aware of this. It's not like I was ignoring it. I just wasn't as vocal maybe as I should have been. So, we've had the fortune of learning more through really our friends and our partners at AllMade, who helped us see a little bit of this vision a few years ago. So we're learning. Everybody's on this path. Bjorn, we all have more to learn. We all have more to contribute. But Rod, thank you for introducing us to Bjorn and having this conversation today. Jeff, I've learned a lot. I don't know, what have you learned, Jeff? What's on your note card?
Well, I'll tell you, my life has changed quite a bit over the last few years. When my son, who's now 27, said, "Dad, you ought to start thinking about sustainability and working with eco-friendly companies." And that's when I was introduced to AllMade and all the great things that they're doing. And now I'm working as the director of brand development for Organic Tea Star, a GOTS, Global Organic Textile Standard company, where everything from the cotton to the inks that are going on the shirt, we take there's so many great shirts and products in our industry, and then we throw plastic on it, and
why?
It's never going away. So I've learned, and I think this is just the beginning of an ongoing conversation. We feel honored through the Branded Merch Network, which really is a community that a few industry misfits have thought about doing something that our pillars are community, collaboration, and creativity, and we need to collaborate together to do good. Like you mentioned, Bjorn, in some of the things you said, it's really about collaborating with your partners, and it's exciting to be able to push the banner of this forward. Thanks, Rod, for all you do, Ambassador, and driving this. It's been great.
And thanks, Bjorn. Thanks for being our special guest and accommodating.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. And at the taco stand in Las Vegas or in Long Beach, beer on me.
My treat. No, my treat. My treat.